What is up, SEC Nation? It's your good buddy Jackson Johnson here with the lead writer of Auburn Tigers Wire, the one and only himself, Taylor Jones, as we are going over the preview of the 2025 edition of the Iron Bowl between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers, as it's going to be a wild ride in Jordan-Hare Stadium on ABC Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Central. How you doing today, good buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, Jackson. Good to see you again, and happy to be talking about this game. Should be probably one of the more exciting ones we've seen in the last few years.
I know, right? I mean, it's just going to be a wild ride, like, especially when it's like the Tigers are playing for a shot at spoiler and bowl eligibility, and Alabama's playing for a spot in the SEC title game and to basically get in the playoffs with this victory. I mean, at least I think they do, but that's just me. Man, it's just going to be a fun ride all right there. But, when watching the Alabama-Auburn game going into Saturday on ABC, who are your players to watch out for in this one?
I'll look offensively for Auburn. I think you got to look at both Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton because it's amazing to me that now that DJ Durkin has taken over, that those two players exist. It's crazy. It didn't seem like that was the case under Hugh Freeze. Even last year, I think he had more catches in the last 3 games last season than he had the previous games combined. And it was, I don't know if it was he couldn't construct the game plan the right way, or if it was a please don't transfer, whatever the case may be. But I think those two are definitely going to be some to look at. Both of them had over 10 catches in the Vanderbilt game, in a game that was awfully close right there at the end, but they just couldn't pull it out. Looks like Ashton Daniels is going to be starting quarterback again. So I think if he has another great game like he did against Vanderbilt, he could be another one to watch. And a guy that I've been high on all year, and I think everyone has started to catch on to the last few weeks, is linebacker Xavier Atkins. Coming into the year, you thought, Keldrick Faulk's going to be the guy. He's had a pretty good year too, but when you look at Xavier Atkins and what he's done this year, it just seems like he finds a way to up his game every single week. And it's just, what's he going to do this time? How many sacks is he going to get? How many TFLs? How many pressures is he going to get? So that's the guy on defense I'm looking for each and every game, and especially here in a high game situation, high pressure situation against Alabama.
Well, obviously, for Bama, the guys to look out for on offense are Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and you've got Lottie Brooks. But there's always that X factor, Josh Cuevas. But the problem is, we don't know if he's going to be playing on Saturday or not. As of this recording on November 25th, 2025, although this video is released on a different day. Oops, fourth wall break on SC at the Voice College Football. Oh, man. Who says we don't do fourth wall breaks in college football media?
Hey, that's right. We'll have to edit that in there. You may be wearing a different shirt, but we'll edit that in there.
There we go. Fourth wall break, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, in all seriousness though, Simpson has definitely got to look out for. Everybody's going to be looking out for him.
Right.
Justin Jefferson on defense, moving on up, finally getting a piece of the pie. And, we've got LT Overton, Yahtzee Pierre. Dijon Lee is definitely got to look out for. Man, there's just so many guys on this Bama squad to look out for. But one of the things I keep thinking about in mind was Deuce Knight and Ashton Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Deuce Knight had a hell of a game against Mercer. But Auburn was like, we're going to go with Ashton Daniels.
Right.
For those that are just mad about it, why did he go with Daniels exactly?
I feel like Deuce will be on standby pretty quickly. Of course, the main reason that Ashton didn't play against Mercer is because he's already appeared in 3 games, and the NCAA rule is you can appear in 4 games and still keep your red shirt. And I know before the Mercer game, DJ Durkin said that was going to be a conversation that he was going to have. I know Ashton, a 3-year starter at Stanford, he comes in and later in the year playing for Auburn a little bit. So I think it was kind of a conversation of, do you plan on coming back next year? Do you want that opportunity? And it was probably more favored of, yes, I want to have the opportunity to come back. And so they said, okay, we'll sit you in the Mercer game. We'll let you come back in the Alabama game. But I think it's great to see that Deuce Knight also has a shot at coming in and playing a big game. I know it was against Mercer, but you look at Mercer, they were 9-1 Southern Conference champions. I think they got the number 6 seed in the FCS playoffs this year. I think one of their losses, it had only just lost 1 game this year coming into that one.
Yeah.
Pretty good offense, too. And and Deuce found a way to kind of carve them up a little bit. But I think if Ashton does get in a little bit of trouble, I think it's kind of a great thing to have Deuce Knight kind of in the back pocket ready to go just in case. And I saw something the other day. It was a tweet from an Auburn fan that said, I can't believe that Hugh Freeze was starting QB3 all season long. And, Deuce Knight's another great option. I think when you look at the experience factor, Ashton's probably the best option just for this moment. Kind of, don't want to throw Deuce to the wolves just yet because you mentioned all those great defensive players and, how tricky they'll be to play. So I think, you're trying to go over experience just a little bit. But if experience isn't working out, it's good to have Deuce Knight in your back pocket.
Yeah, and on the Crimson Tide side, our problem has been the kicking game, of course. It was so bad that the fans were booing our kicker on Saturday. And
but it's the snapper's fault, right?
Oh Lord. I knew that was coming.
It's always the snapper's fault.
But I tell you that I think our kicker needs Uncle Ira from Avatar: Last Airbender. Like he's basically the Zuko. He needs his own Uncle Ira. Just like kind of like give him those funny quotes. Tell him about how great tea is and all that. You need everybody needs an Uncle Ira.
Right.
So it's like oh man, but it's just he's doing better. I hope he is, but I think we'll wait and see. But I know our running game has not been the world's best this season. I mean, when you think of Alabama, you're thinking of smash mouth football,
right?
Running that ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this season it's not been all that. But if we can get, and when I say we, I'm talking about Alabama, of course. We have to make sure Jam Miller is all set, ready to go. Daniel Hill's ready to go. Ackland Deer is ready to go. Get your running game up. Make sure you got a good enough ground and pound. You can be set for a victory in Auburn, Alabama. And you got to make sure that you got your X factor all set. Because, I mean, when you were thrown to Josh Cuevas, right, on the Oklahoma matchup, things were going all right. But when Simpson was not throwing to Cuevas, it was not going so well. It was just like, you got to throw to the X factor. You don't want to get overly reliant on one guy. And, there's been a lot of people say, like, oh, well, Ryan Williams, oh, well, he's a mess this season. Oh, well, he is not as good. Well, here's the thing, though. Last season, it was all on Ryan Williams. This year, it's not all on Ryan Williams. And the thing is, though, for Auburn to have victory on Saturday, they have to put a ton of pressure on Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely key to victory.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's something that all season long, the passing game has just torched the defensive backs. And of course, that was supposed to be, Auburn's most experienced unit. When you look at, Jay Crawford, Kayan Lee, all those guys coming back. Champ Anthony, bless his heart, he can't play more than 2 games without getting hurt. But he did well this year until he got hurt. But that's, you look at the Baylor game right off the bat. Sawyer Robertson throws for 418 yards. And we've seen so many quarterbacks. Diego Pavia had another good game recently against the Auburn defense. So, yeah, it's kind of scary a little bit looking at the Auburn side that even though you don't have to necessarily cue completely on Ryan Williams, you have so many other guys to worry about. And if they can find a way to limit Ty Simpson, or as you mentioned, put more pressure on him, Auburn may have a better shot at it. But that's really been a factor this year, is just slowing down the pass. Run game's been okay, but the pass is really how a lot of teams have beaten Auburn this year.
No doubt about it. And yeah, that's something I've seen Auburn throughout the season, where it's like they've had chance after chance against a lot of teams this season. Close but no cigar against Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Missouri, Vandy, Georgia. Y'all got screwed by the refs on that one.
Yeah.
So it's like
that kind of I know, like, those calls aren't necessarily going to help you win or lose a game, but it can definitely kill momentum and definitely get momentum going to the other side. And that's exactly what happened. Fake timeouts, and whether he crossed the goal line or not, I don't know, but that's just brutal stuff all year.
And Vandy, that was like another blown opportunity where it's like close but no cigar. Like that's just been like the 4 words for Auburn this season. Like
and being close is what ultimately got Hugh Freeze fired.
Yep. I don't think DJ Durkin is the long-term option, obviously.
Right.
like good grief. It's like that's a mess in of itself right there. But looking at the keys to victory, what are the keys to victory for Auburn in your mind?
I think you just still have to find a way to get your pass game going. You've got Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. They've proven to be great for you this year. Perry Thompson has stepped up in the last few games. He's a player that I'm glad we're getting to see more of in Perry Thompson. And then, the run game you feel like is going to be okay. You know that Jeremiah Cobb can run the ball pretty well, and that Ashton Daniels isn't afraid to take off and run, and neither is Deuce Knight if it comes down to that. And I think on the defensive side of the ball, you have to, as you mentioned, get pressure on Ty Simpson, because if he has all day to throw, you kind of worry about your defensive backs and how they're going to go against the wide receivers. Then it all starts with getting in the head of Ty Simpson defensively.
No doubt. Like, you have to get in the head of Ty Simpson, of course, and make sure you got to put a ton of pressure on him, because if you don't, he's going to chew you up like a chicken nugget.
That's it. He's done it several times this year, and he's going to do it in the most humble way possible. I think that's the fun part I like about Ty Simpson too, is he just, him and Gunnar Stockton at Georgia are kind of the same way. They just go out there and play ball. There's no flash to them. There's no look at me. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to kick your tail, and we're going to get a win. And that's it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And of course, like, the key to victory for Alabama is just make sure you put a ton of pressure on Daniels or Knight or whoever is sitting there at QB, because Auburn is just going to be throwing genjutsus all over the place at you. They're just going to throw genjutsus. Like, we got nothing to lose. We're fighting for bowl eligibility, and we get to do it by spoiling Alabama's hopes in the playoffs and in the SEC title game. And if Auburn was to win this would be the first time since 2001 that a team with a losing record has won the Iron Bowl.
God, that's insane.
Yep. That team was Alabama defeating Auburn, but that was a typical of Toadville. But anyway,
it was.
but he got like 6 straight wins over Russ.
Yeah, that's it. So he ultimately figured it out. So that's good.
Oh man. And another stat that, if I can find it, which I'll find it, but here we go. There it is. So Alabama has never won 3 straight times in Jordan-Hare since we started having the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare.
So that was 89. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And for those tuning in to HC at the Voice College Football, Bill Curry was Alabama's equivalent of Ryan Day back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Won a lot of the big ones, but couldn't beat Auburn. And that's what ultimately ran him off. But yet I wonder if Bill Curry would have gotten a natty at Alabama in a 12-team playoff in 89. That's another topic for another day.
I was like, you kind of feel like he would have a great chance at that.
Oh, no doubt. And, just like looking at this, like Alabama dominated Auburn throughout the 2020s. But there again, they've never won 3 straight in Jordan-Hare. Auburn's not even won 5 straight ever in Jordan-Hare. Like that's how crazy this rivalry is. Like it's just bam, 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 bam.
And for the most part, all of them were super close also.
Oh, man. It's just a wild ride. It's a shame that 1993 was not televised, but, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, they learned their lesson, I guess. Good old Pat Dye.
I would have just banned myself from the postseason for 92. That way I could just play for 93,
Correct.
But, hindsight's 2020, But all right, we've got the position battles to look out for in this one. What are your position battles that you're looking out for from your eyes, Taylor?
I'll go, of course, wide receiver, cornerback on both sides. Just kind of see, who's going to have the advantage in the passing game and who's really going to limit them. That would be the top one because you have the Jeremy Bernards, the Ryan Williams, the Cam Coleman's, and the Eric Singletons, the Perry Thompsons, all those guys going against the great defensive backfield. And who's going to win the air battle is going to be mine. So I'm looking specifically at the wide receivers and cornerbacks.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to look out for, because I want to see what Cam Coleman does against the Alabama CBs, and I definitely want to see what the Auburn CBs will do against the Alabama wide receivers. But one I've got in mind is the Auburn defensive line versus the Alabama offensive line.
Oh,
that's
a fun one too.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a key to victory, my friend.
The trenches for sure, and we talked about of course you want to limit Ty Simpson getting the ball to his receivers, and you also want to limit Ashton Daniels' ability to run the football, take off and running, and it's all going to start right there.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. And just kind of like looking at all this, like the position battles, the keys to victory, like what to watch for in this 2025 edition of the Iron Bowl. We now get to the score predictions. My score prediction that I've got for this one is Alabama 24, Auburn 17. Now we have not won. Alabama has not won by double digits in Jordan-Hare since 2015. Part of that was because Will Muschamp just losing his temper, way worse than Donald Duck, getting so mad to the point that he's like tearing off an extension cord and a power outage. Like good grief, he just like tearing things up. But like Will Muschamp, like getting all mad at the refs, and that was part of it. But that's the last time Alabama has won by double digits in Jordan-Hare. Ever since then, or better yet, last time anybody has won by double digits in Jordan-Hare was the Auburn Tigers in 2017, where they won 26-14. And to think, we almost had Auburn in the playoffs with Alabama. Had Auburn won the SEC title that year in 2017. That's something to really
14 days. Yeah, that's another tough one to think about. And then, well, Auburn did lose the national championship that year to UCF. So we did play for it. Didn't know it until way after the fact, but Auburn did play for it. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at, because I think the spread I last look is what, 5.5.
Yeah, it was like 5.5. Last night I was looking at the ESPN spread. It says 6.5 for Alabama.
So yeah, so they're predicting about a touchdown. I would say I'll go 30-24 Alabama. And the reason that I think that it's going to be, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be edge of your seat. Alabama fans are going to be nervous. Auburn fans are going to be hopeful. We're about to go roll Toomer's corner. But something's going to happen in the fourth quarter. Is it going to be another gravedigger situation? Is it going to be a 2009 rollout in the last few minutes to score a touchdown to break a tie? I don't really know, but I kind of predict something within the last 5 minutes is going to go Alabama's way, and it's ultimately going to lead them to a win. But it's going to be close. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anxiety is going to be through the roof through everybody in the state of Alabama. Every Alabama and Auburn fan that's not in the state, they're going to be amped up and all, probably ready to run through a brick wall, just with as much as they got going on. But I see Alabama pulling it away within the last 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, yeah. It's just going to be a wild ride, and we're going to get another wild moment in this 2025 edition of the Iron Bowl. And we know we're probably going to, like, instead of it being like Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit jumping around in the studio, I think you're going to be, I bet we're going to be seeing Gary Danielson and Brad Nessler watching this game on their TV after they get done with Oregon Washington, just like jumping around, like posting it on Paramount Plus or something.
I was like, yeah, because their game should be over right around the time that the Iron Bowl starts. Which, how great is it that the Iron Bowl is going to be at night for the first time in what seems like forever?
Since 2014, when Brent Musburger and Jesse Palmer were calling it on ESPN.
Right. I knew it had to be that long. That was almost like an assumption, because like the way it always works out is my in-laws, we have Thanksgiving dinner for Saturday morning. So we usually get there about 11, and we know about 2:00 is when we need to head out and we need to rush home so we can go watch the Iron Bowl. But that's not going to be the case this year. It's going to be different, and it's going to be at night. We'll see if the voodoo magic at Jordan Hare comes out like it has in the past against Alabama, and has done a couple times this year, although it hasn't worked in Auburn's favor. The voodoo in the Georgia game, of course, was the officials, and then the voodoo in the Kentucky game was Auburn only kicking a field goal. And so we'll see if playing the game at night will change the fortune of Auburn, and they won't lose another one to Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna be a wild one this year. Like, for me personally, you tell me what time it's gonna be, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
even if it's one of those 11 a.m. kicks.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, like, put it at it doesn't make a difference to me. Like, put it at 11 a.m., put it at 2:30, put it at 6:30. Heck, put it at 9 p.m. for all I care. Put it on Black Friday or put it on Thanksgiving. I'm watching the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think I saw James Spann say it was going to be like in the low 40s also, which is different in itself. I feel like it's always not always hot, but always comfortable for the Iron Bowl. But it's going to be a little chilly at Jordan Hare also, so that's it's going to be a lot of fun too. But again, yeah, I'm right with you there. Let's just get this game going. We're excited about it.
No doubt about it. And I saw somebody saying something the other day, where they would like to see the Iron Bowl Thanksgiving, where I wouldn't suggest it be every year, but I would suggest twice a decade. And this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I actually kind of liked seeing the Iron Bowl on Black Friday in 2009, 2010, because some people think of Black Friday as shopping day. I think of it as college football day to me. I mean, we know they're not going to put Arkansas, Missouri on Black Friday anymore. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously ESPN, ABC, they put a lot of Disney put a lot of investment in the SEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, what if they put Alabama Auburn on Black Friday twice a decade. And then, like, the next 2 years, they put it on Thanksgiving Day. Just kinda, like, switch around Thanksgiving Day a little bit. 2
Yeah.
years is Texas A&M, next 2 years, Alabama, Auburn, then next 2 years, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to miss the fact that the Egg Bowl is not going to be on Thanksgiving because that's again one of the family gatherings we have. Usually ends about 6 o'clock or whatever, and then everybody goes shopping. But I'm like, y'all go do what you got to do. I'm going to go watch the Egg Bowl. Not going to be able to do that this year. But the good news is, I also cover high school football, and the team that I cover is going to be playing in Savannah, Georgia, on a Friday. That's going to be about a 5-hour drive. And I get to listen to college football the entire drive pretty much. And I'll get to listen to it pretty much the whole way back Saturday when I come back also. So, yeah, I think it's great that Disney has done that because I believe they have the full slate Friday and then the full slate Saturday too, right? They have the morning, afternoon, and night
Yeah.
windows on both days, right? So it's
Mhm.
really, really cool to see that instead of, maybe one will be on ESPN2, one will be on the SEC network, one will be Fox. Because I don't think like the Big Ten doesn't get that on Fox, do they? They don't have a full slate on one channel, do they?
No, they've got Nebraska, Iowa on Black Friday on CBS every year since 2011, and they're gonna have Indiana, Purdue on NBC on Black Friday. Um, I really think NBC needs to get USC Notre Dame to keep playing each other annually, and while they're at, they say they're gonna air it every year. Don't let CBS get a piece of it, but
No.
that's just me. I mean that like, oh man, I let myself get in a venting session again about USC Notre Dame, but I love that game so much. But before we sign off on HC at the Voice College Football, what are your top 3 moments of the Iron Bowl all time? Before lifetime and during lifetime.
Uh, Before Lifetime, I'll probably go punt Bama punt because I've heard so many stories about it. And I actually used to work for a gentleman when I did radio in Auburn, and he was sharing his phone number. I won't give the full phone number out. But he said, oh yeah, add my number to your phone, and it was blah 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 punt Bama punt, and I knew exactly what he meant. And so that you hear so many good stories about that game, and unfortunately that was before my lifetime. But the Iron Bowls that I can remember, of course, the comeback in 2010. That was a lot of fun to watch. The kick six, of course, is a good one, but I don't know if I'm in the minority of this, but I kind of feel like it was a great play, but at the same time, it's kind of sad that Auburn has not won very many games since then, and it's been 12 years since that happened. That was a good moment. I think the most recent moment that I really enjoy was the Bo Nix. Was it a substitution or making them jump off sides at the end that pretty much solidified the game? And freshman Bo Nix is just excited, and that's probably the most recent one of all of my Iron Bowl moments that I can recall.
Oh man. Me personally, I will go with, and this is gonna be really vintage.
Okay.
The 1948 Iron Bowl, where Alabama Auburn first played each other for the first time since 1907.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
yep, it's like, oh, 55, no, oh, that has nothing to do with that. But
I mean, would we not be where we are today if that game were not played?
oh man,
That's definitely a question you got to ask.
agreed. I mean, it's just like, good grief, it's amazing to see Alabama, Auburn playing each other annually since 1948. I mean, like, that's a great moment in history.
It is.
Uh, 4th and 31, that's a moment for me. And I gotta really think of it. This third one, this third one, it's like it's somewhere out there because there's so many. There's '08, there's '09. '08 where Bama ends the lead streak. The '08, the '09 Black Friday Magic. That third one for me, I'm going to go with 1981, where Bear Bryant got his 315th win and became the all-time leader in coaching victories, breaking Amos Alonzo-Stad's record on November 28th, 1981, where the Crimson Tide won 28-17 in Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, those are great memories right there. And of course, you kind of think of, where would we be, if all those memories didn't happen, good or bad, because you look at, so many rivalries are, considered, if you like really look at the record, aren't really considered rivalries anymore. Cause I think I saw one of the ones, and this was, back before, the ESPN, or the EA Sports video games went on hiatus for college football. I think I saw like a stat where in like NCAA 2014, where I think you had like a 60-year dynasty, I think was the limit you could have. And I think if you were the head coach at Oklahoma State and you were only the head coach at Oklahoma State in your dynasty for that 60-year period, Oklahoma State would still have a losing record to Oklahoma. And there's so many stats like that you're just like, that's not really a rivalry game, but those moments are what makes this such a great rivalry game.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Taylor, what magic are you cooking up this week, good buddy?
Of course, we're doing Iron Bowl. It's actually a pretty fun week here. We got Iron Bowl coming up. Auburn's playing in the Players Era Festival over in Las Vegas. I believe the Crimson Tide's over there too. You look at we got the coverage from the Oregon game last night, the coverage from Michigan and everything going on in Las Vegas. The latest point spread, latest predictions for the Iron Bowl, and of course, complete game day coverage beginning on Saturday. We're going to tell you how to watch the game, what the final predictions are, latest injury reports, any news that you need to know. We have over at auburnwire.usatoday.com.
There you go. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at pubs about the magic that Taylor Jones creates on Auburn Tigers Wire. He is my go-to for Auburn athletics. He should be yours too, ladies and gentlemen. He is one of the many go-tos on Auburn athletics. And I can tell you right now, you'll definitely be seeing him again at some point before the end of the year. And I can tell you right now, we're gonna have some Auburn match. Don't you worry. We're gonna have an Auburn season in review. We promise you that. And you can check him out at HSM West Georgia, as he calls those high school games in Savannah, Georgia. He's a magician, man. I tell you what. And you can give a follow on Taylor Jones __ on @/Twitter, and also give him a follow on Taylor 10 Jones on Instagram and Threads. And I can tell you right now, it's a fun ride checking out the magic he's cooking up for hometown sports media and Auburn Tigers Wire. And of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where you'll see my latest episode, The Jacksonian, with Steve Hellwagon of Buttnuts 247, as we talk about the 2025 edition of The Game. And you can also check out Monday's edition of Crimson Tide Live, where Jeffrey Dolly talks sports trivia, where and I were joined by Kyle Lubis of E2C Network discussing the preview of the Iron Bowl. And for more updates on what we've got going on Alabama at the Voice College Football, the Jacksonian, SEC at the Voice College Football, and much more, check me out on JacksVOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads, Jackson Johnson 543-908. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and a happy Black Friday. And to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell to SEC at the Voice College Football so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will see you Wednesday night on SEC Live.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click Join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.